Tallahatchie Bridge. Here's Andrea Kramer.
Good morning, Chris. They're expecting rain here today, and the Chiefs think that could be to their advantage since it would cut down on the Raiders' team speed. Now, as you mentioned, it will be Billy Joe Hobart at the helm with Jeff Hostetler as the emergency quarterback.
I've developed into a quarterback that can win football games. Unfortunately, this team is 0-3 with me as the starter.
Look for the Raiders to go with more rhythm passing and timing routes that Hobart's comfortable with. Brown told me this is the best offensive game plan they've ever put in against the Chiefs.
Before, we'd say, hey, look, we have talent, they have talent, let's just go out and play. And now we're actually going out and making them do some things that they really don't like to do. So we're going to get in some formations that make them back up off of us and allow us to use our quickness and speed and get upfield, because we feel like once we get 10 yards up the field, and we get to shaking them and moving them, that we can get away from them.
The formations that Brown is talking about bunches 3 receivers in tight to one side. It could be 3 wideouts or 2 wideouts and rookie tight end Ricky Dudley, who they think could have a good day inside against the Chiefs linebackers and safeties. But the Chiefs plan to double up on Dudley. They want to try to bang him around before he gets the ball to knock him out of his patterns. Beyond these physical matchups, though, there's the mental edge the Chiefs seem to have over the Raiders, who haven't won here at Arrowhead since 1988.
The hardest thing for us to overcome as far as the Chiefs are concerned is the fact that they're confident. It is their belief that they could beat us any day of the week. And I think universally as a team, we haven't grasped that yet. We don't understand that.
What are they, 6 in a row? Is that 6 in a row, is that what you said? Well, that makes me want to puke. That absolutely makes me want to puke. I don't think any team is that good to beat us 6 times in a row.
We never get beat, Andrew. We always beat ourselves.
Once again, the Raiders self-destructed with penalties. Last week they had 12, including 7 defensive offside calls. And today they face Chiefs quarterback Steve Bono, who does a real good job with his hard count.
I think sometimes cadence, and especially on the road, and especially as a little fatigue sets in, maybe as much mentally as physically, you have to be ready for it. And it's something that we've worked on.
And finally, Chris, Mike White plans to put Super Bowl MVP cornerback Larry Brown on the inactive list today. He has a foot injury, and they want to get him as much rest as possible.
Thanks, Andrea. That foot injury is like the Mark McGuire injury, plays in the same park, the Oakland A's. Tommy, I have a saying, 1 is an accident, 2 is a trend, 3 is a problem. The Raiders have lost 7 in a row. What is that?
Well, let's continue with the numbering system. You're talking about 3 sacks last week, 2 INTs. Andrea alluded to the 12 penalties. They lost time of possession by more than 9 minutes, and they play a guy in Marcus Allen today who always has a little bit extra for the Raiders. Now, since he joined the Chiefs in 1993, he's rushed for 100 yards 3 times. Twice it's been against the Raiders, and I'm so sad to say the Raiders are a team in disarray.
I know that. Dripping with sincerity, I might add. Back to the defending AFC champ.
At Arrowhead Stadium in its 25th year. A sea of red, the aura of Arrowhead, the team that has enjoyed the best home record in the NFL the last 5 years, and they celebrate today because the rival Raiders are in town. Oakland and Kansas City renew the 75th meeting. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Phil Simms and Paul McGuire, and in the red of Kansas City, the Raiders' all-time rusher, Marcus Allen. It still burns within him. He wants to beat his former team.
Yeah, he does. And it goes back 15 years when he was drafted by the Raiders. I mean, he still kind of dislikes him. He's truly a gifted athlete. He can hurt you in so many ways. But the one thing about Marcus Allen, of all the records that he has, he just saves a little bit extra every time they play the Raiders.
And part of his dislike directed toward Al Davis, and he's proved it on the field. Scored his 100th touchdown. 10,000th rushing yard was against the Raiders. 5,000th receiving yard, and he's the only NFL back in history to rush for 10 and receive for 5. He passed that mark against the Raiders, and with 2 touchdowns today, he goes by Jim Brown and becomes the all-time touchdown maker as a running back.
But you know, when he talked to him yesterday, we asked him, do you save something extra for the Raiders? He said, yes, I do. And there's truly a hatred for the Raiders.
And let's be honest, hatred's a wonderful thing on the football field because it brings such emotion, and that means exciting football.
Something that's wonderful for quarterbacks. You realize with the Giants and the Raiders in their glory years always had a tough tight end.
And they got a good tight end here again, and Ricky Dudley from Ohio State, a first-round draft pick. They're hoping today he can be a big part of the passing game over the middle because Kansas City's defense has great corners, a terrific pass rush, so they need Ricky Dudley to play like a veteran today.
They're ready in Kansas City. Marcus Allen and the Kansas City Chiefs look for their 12th win in their last 13 meetings against the Raiders.
All right.
Raiders, if you go back to last season, have now lost 7 games in a row. But there is some optimism. I spoke to the owner, Al Davis, and he told me that he likes the direction of the team. He feels the team is growing. Head coach Mike White told us yesterday it was the best week of practice that his team has had since he's been head coach. So the feeling with the Raiders is they may struggle earlier in the season, but toward the end of it, they'll be in contention. Dick?
Thank you, Jim. Cole Ford, who has replaced Jeff Jager, kicks it off. And the rookie from Memphis, Jerome Woods, is there at the 4. Woods, a cornerback, is drilled at the 17-yard line by Mike Morton. Linebacker from North Carolina, 12 on the return as here comes Steve Bono. It's a Kansas City Chiefs team that you'll recognize. They've lost only 2 starters on offense. All the defenders have returned. A penalty on the kick return, Jerry Markbright.
Legal block in the back, number 14 on the return, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Marty Schottenheimer says 14. I don't have a 14 on the field. He does have these big numbers: Alt, Zott, Grunnard, Shields, and Sigler. The offensive line with Bono at quarterback. Marcus Allen looking for more records against his ex-teammates. Kimball Landers likes to catch the ball. Chris Penn and Tamarick Vanover are the wideouts, and Derek Walker at tight end. After the penalty, the Chiefs start inside their 9. Allen at the goal line, the tailback, and Bono to throw on first down. Over the middle to Vanover, who unable to hang on, incomplete at the 18, Lorenzo Lynch. Terry McDaniel on the coverage. The silver and black defense lines up this way: Smith, Maryland, the former Cowboy; McLaughlin, many feel the best inside lineman in the league. Swilling had 13 sacks a year ago. Fredrickson, Beekert, and Jones are the backers. McDaniel, a Pearl Bowler, with the former Chief Albert Lewis at the corners. Lorenzo Lynch, a free agent from Arizona, and Eddie Anderson, the big hitter at safety. 2nd and 10. Allen's first carry. Picking his way to the 10, to the 11, and call it a 3-yard gain.
The one thing that the Raiders, I think, have this year, Phil, that they haven't had in the past, the advantage is the defensive line, because they not only have 4 good starting defensive linemen, but they also have 4 backup defensive linemen, and they're going to play them all.
Everybody around the league is looking for a pass rusher, and here are the Raiders. They got like 6 of them, and so do the Kansas City Chiefs.
Raiders bring on an extra defensive back, Darren Carrington, on 3rd and a long 7. 4 wide receivers. Bono lofts it high, and over the stretching try of Lake Dawson, the former Notre Dame star. James Trapp on the coverage, and the punting team comes on for Kansas City. So a good defensive stand by the Raiders.
Something interesting right there. The Kansas City Chiefs on offense. The Oakland Raiders came out on in both passing plays, doubled Tamarick Vanover. So they're not going to, it looks like they're going to try to keep him out of the passing game today if they can.
Aguiar punted Dolphin against Houston well in the Oilers' half of the field, so that accounts for the 28-point average. Had one blocked for the first time in his career last week, and sends a boomer deep, driving Tim Brown back to the 30, to the 20. What a kick. Brown breaking tackles, returns to the 27. Louis Aguiar. '68-yard punt.
You know, when punters hit it that good, it's like hitting a drive when you're playing golf. As soon as it hits your foot, because I did it for a lot of years, you know, right now, you know you hit it.
Just like the drive, when you hit the sweet spot, you don't have to see how far it goes. You know it's out there, and you're going to have to walk the longest. The Raiders against the din of the Arrowhead crowd. Harvey Williams is the man that's fake to, almost intercepted as Hobart is hit as he throws. Tim Brown, the intended receiver. Vaughn Booker, number 99, was on Hobart.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs can put tremendous pressure on a quarterback in passing situations. They think they can take advantage of the Raider tackles, and right there, Vaughn Booker just powers over Pat Harlow.
Harlow acquired from New England for a number 2 draft pick in the offseason. Gunther Cunningham, the defensive coordinator. His philosophy is attack. Over to throw again. To the sidelines, incomplete. Tim Brown unable to hang on. Anthony Davis, a linebacker, was covering. 3rd and 10. A look at the Raider offense. Harlow, Wisniewski, Robbins, Gogan, and Kennedy. 3 new names in that offensive line. Billy Joe Hobart for the injured Jeff Hostetler, who should return next week. Williams, the former Chief, with Fenner in the backfield. Brown and Jett are the wideouts with Ricky Dudley, whose future appears to be a brilliant one if he lives up to the high expectations. He's huge, he's fast. That's Darrell Hobbs in motion on 3rd and 10, and stacked up is Williams for no gain. Both teams start strong defensively.
Martin Bayless is in the backfield.
Well, this shows you the respect that the Raider offense has for this Kansas City defense. On 3rd and 7 or 8, they run the football. They don't even try to throw it because they know the pass rush is going to be all over the quarterback.
Neil Smith darting down from his defensive end position to make the tackle. 4th down and 10, and Jeff Gossett, the veteran of 15 seasons, will kick it to Tamarik Vanover, who returned 1 for a touchdown a year ago as a rookie. Had 2 other kickoff returns for touchdowns, and this is a boomer. To the 22. Flag down. Vanover in trouble. And brought down back at the 11-yard line. Tackled by Paul Butchert, the veteran special team star out of Wayne State in Detroit. Played a year ago with Carolina. And a penalty against the Chiefs. That's 2 kick returns, 2 penalties against Kansas City.
Isn't it ironic? A week ago, the Raiders, 12 penalties in a game, all 5-yard penalties. And you know, you talk about turnovers, that's just as bad as far as I'm concerned. They get you a loss.
This one's against Kansas City. Marty Schottenheimer, who preaches no turnovers, but take it away from the opposition, and it certainly has worked in his tenure here in Kansas City. The Chiefs have been as solid in that regard as any team in the NFL.
See what they're looking. There's 2 penalties. There's one back on the 30, and then there's another one back on the Chiefs 47.
Illegal formation foul on the kicking team. That penalty is declined by rule. We have an illegal block in the back on number 44, receiving team. During the return, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Darren Anderson with the illegal block for Kansas City, and by rule that is enforced. The Chiefs will start at their 5-yard line when we come back. Stadium, the 75th game, dead even, 36 wins aside and 2 ties in this long rivalry, but Kansas City dominating of late, winning 12 of the last 13. It's Marcus Allen vaulting forward and earning a few extra yards as he goes over the pile out to the 10, a gain of almost 5. Anthony Smith and Greg Biekert in on the stop.
Last year, this Raider defense really got hurt by the inside run, not showing enough discipline with their defensive linemen. This year, they go out and get from the Dallas Cowboys, Russell Maryland. He's excellent against the run inside. He should really help this defense out a lot.
Fred Whittingham taking over the defensive coordinator role when John Fox quit in the preseason. 2nd and a long 5. The toss to the tight end Walker incomplete. Derek Walker, not used all that often as a receiver, caught 25 a year ago. Terry McDaniel covered.
Well, I always say you're going to get hit, so you might as well catch it anyway. He takes his eye off the ball right there, and it hits him back in the face mask. He knows he's going to get hit by McDaniel. I mean, he doesn't know it's McDaniel, but he knows he's going to get hit. Catch it.
Steve Bono there. As a quarterback, when you backed up and you drop back in the end zone on passes, you don't have the patience you would like. And right that last play, Tamarik Vanover ran down the middle of the field wide open.
Ball at the 9, a short 7 on 3rd down. Bono over the middle. Complete. his second catch of the year. Third-year receiver out of Tulsa. 12 on the play and the first down of the game.
What a great pickup by block by Kimball Anders, number 38, on the blitzing linebacker. That enabled Bono to be able to step up and make that throw.
Even though it's good coverage by Albert Lewis right there, Steve Bono does a good job of throwing inside routes, and right there he sticks it in on good coverage.
Hanu caught passes from T.J. Rubley and Gus Farad at Tulsa. Give to Kimball Anders, who was tripped up as he crossed the 21-yard line. He goes, swilling with a tackle. And out of New York, and an NFL update.
First, Dick.
All right, Greg, the crippled Steelers get a big play from their All-Pro Rod Woodson. Here's another All-Pro, Marcus Allen, and they're waiting for him. Anthony Smith and company. Terry McDaniel coming up to support. A loss of 5.
You know, we talked about Marcus Allen before, and he has a little bit extra for the Raiders, but I guarantee you the Raiders have a little bit extra for Marcus Allen because of the rivalry here. But Anthony Smith on the bottom, number 94, just fights through the block and gets Marcus in the backfield. But you also, when you have some help in the corner, Terry McDaniel up forcing the play inside, that's good defense.
Third down and a dozen for the Chiefs. Come out with 3 wide receivers. Bono, screen, Kimball Anders, blockers in front, 25, 30, dives, but he's short of the first down. Rob Frederickson down low to make the tackle. Anderson there to help out. It'll be 4th and 1. So Marty Schottenheimer sends out his punting team.
You know, I saw this last week, Phil, and it bothers me every time I see a screen pass thrown. Dick, the offensive linemen are out there in the screen. They're looking back at the guy catching the ball. Forget him. Look at the guy coming in front of you to block.
There should be one rule on screens for offensive linemen. You must hit the ground. Go out there and hit the ground. Throw at somebody's feet. Make the defender slow up. Rob Frederickson, the only defender out there, stops the play.
Yeah, that could have been a long gainer. As Aguiar's second punt. Under pressure. This one not as long as the first. Tim Brown, a fair catch at the 27. The Raiders get their second possession. No score midway through the opening quarter. 70s. Tim Brown, since earning the Heisman at Notre Dame and now maturing as one of the top receivers in football, and especially against the Chiefs. Last year, 2 games, 17 catches against Kansas City. And in a career, he's enjoyed top performances against this red jersey defense. Hobart to Harvey Williams, and a flag down as Williams tackled at the 33. Anthony Davis on the stop.
I'll tell you what, you want to see bump and run? Dale Carter on Tim Brown. Tim Brown comes out, Dale Carter just jams him.
Check the penalty from Jerry Mark Bright as he confers.
The one thing about Tim Brown, on all those catches, Dick, 54 catches, only 3 touchdowns. A lot of yardage, but not getting it into the end zone.
Well, he gets a lot of yardage against the league. He's been the top receiver in the AFC the last 3 years in yards receiving. Well, this must be complicated.
It's on Hasty.
Look. Illegal hands to the face. Number 40, defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Automatic first down.
Well, James Hasty says this is not hands to the face. I got him around the throat, and that's what he likes to do. He says that's his technique, and you can see he has him on the throat.
Well, that's some chokehold. Now on the other side, watch, here comes Tim Brown. There's Dale Carter. Watch this. Hello. I mean, they knock him around on every play.
On the penalty, first down at the 32. Harvey Williams right into the arms of Neil Smith. The 5-time Pro Bowler Smith with another play.
You know, Neil Smith told us yesterday, I hope Harvey Williams plays. Look at this move. Throw you away, Kennedy, and I'll take Williams. But here we go again, back outside, Phil.
And these corners for the Kansas City Chiefs love jamming receivers and holding them every once in a while. And that's why we're going to see the Oakland Raiders change up some formations to get rid of that jamming at the line of scrimmage.
Is that holding, Dick, or did I miss something?
Used to be 2nd and 11. Fake toss by Hobart. Lots of time. Flag down. Wide open is Brown at midfield to the 40. To the 31-yard line goes Tim Brown. Now check the flag, and it appears to be holding Kansas City.
It'll be Lincoln Kennedy holding Neil Smith. I mean, the last time.
Number 72, offense. 10-yard penalty.
That's Lincoln.
Down.
The last time, if you remember, Neil Smith just threw Lincoln Kennedy away. Now watch what happens. Here comes Neil back to the outside, not an inside move. That's a takedown. I didn't do anything.
That's a pin.
That negates a 38-yard gain, so that's a 48-yard penalty in essence.
Tim Brown gets wide open on this play, really because the linebackers for the Kansas City Chiefs sucked up so hard on the running fake that there was nobody underneath to take the throw away from Tim Brown.
After the penalty to the 21, it's 2nd and 21. They give to Williams. Finds some running room, and William White, an extra defensive back, makes a stop at the 28. 7 on the play. Well, the Raiders through the years have been plagued by their own mistakes, and were tied with Detroit for the most penalized team in the NFL a year ago. And last week, as Paul indicated, at Baltimore, 12 penalties. 8 of those were offside.
Killers, Dick, and I think it was the #1 reason why they lost the game last week, those offside penalties.
Another flag down. And when these two teams play, you can expect to see a lot of the yellow.
Offside, number 58, defense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
This is against Derek Thomas, the linebacker, trying to edge his way on a pass rush.
Who's down on the top, huh?
You can see Derek Thomas up the top here. Watch, he just lines up offsides, trying to get that quick start on an obvious passing situation.
2nd and 16. Napoleon Kaufman is in the backfield. He takes the handoff. And after eluding, Derek Thomas breaks into the clear. What moves by Kaufman all the way to the 41-yard line.
The Kansas City Chiefs told us yesterday, we want 22 in that backfield because that number 26 can really make things happen.
But
he's scary.
What a play field. Look, Thomas almost gets him here. Who makes the tackle at the end of the play?
Derek Thomas.
No, if he does, that is tremendous. And you can see the speed Napoleon, and that is really tremendous. And Dick, it says everything about him as a player, and it says something about this Kansas City Chiefs defense, the way they're taught.
First down for the Raiders at the 41, and Hobart into the flat, complete to Fenner, his fullback, near a first down at the 31-yard line. Dale Carter made the tackle.
This Raider offense really doesn't. They don't even say anymore, we're going to come out and establish the run and try to get them on their heels. They come out throwing the ball, and Gunther Cunningham, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, says over 60% of the time now in preseason and the regular season, they throw on first down.
Do you have a feeling that Billy Joe's kind of guiding the ball and not really throwing like he knows how to throw?
Well, Tim Brown says he has a tendency to maybe throw it a little too hard, so maybe he's trying to be nice to the receivers today.
Picked up a first down on the pass to Fenner. The toss to Williams with a blocker. And Williams skids to the 26, a gain of 5. Tracy Simeon down low to make the stop. Simeon, who has led the Kansas City Chiefs in tackles the last 4 years.
You know, I know that Harvey Williams is their starting back, but I'm going to tell you what, Napoleon Kaufman is a great football player. This guy is put together so well. I mean, he's small, but he's big in his arms and his legs, and it's very, very difficult to tackle this guy.
He's not small, he's just short. He's compact at 5'9". 180. In the backfield now is Kaufman on 2nd and 5. Hobart. Almost intercepted by James Hasty as he darted in front of the intended receiver, Kenny Shedd.
You know, I'll tell you something, Phil. You can't look at the receiver the whole time and expect to complete it.
Well, that's right. And let's also remember, this is a running back trying to run a route against an all-pro defensive back. And that's just a mismatch.
Derek Fenner, the receiver. And Hasty thought he had a touchdown, as he did a year ago in this game. In overtime, Hasty's interception for a touchdown beat the Raiders. 3rd and 5. Here they come. Hobart has to throw it away as William White, the safety, on a blitz.
Well, you're looking at a situation, Dick, where you got too many people coming. You don't have enough people to pick them up, and that's exactly what happened. You have a back, William White, number 35, coming up. You see him right in the middle of the screen. Now he comes up. There's just nobody to block him.
Good design by the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Put a person on all the down linemen. Send a linebacker through there. Well, that time, William White, nobody there to pick him up.
43-yard field goal attempt by Cole Ford, who didn't have a chance last week in Baltimore. Blocked. The Chiefs will get it at the 30-yard line. Flag is down.
Boy, that flag came awfully late, so this has to be after the play.
Keith Traylor was around the field goal attempt as Jerry Markbright checks on the penalty.
Holding. Number 50, kicking team. Penalty decline. First down.
Mike Morton with a penalty, of course, decline, and the Chiefs take over at the 30. Let's check the block field goal attempt. Traylor is 94. And it was Traylor with the left hand. It remains scoreless in Kansas City. To deny a 43-yard attempt. Chiefs ball just inside their 30. 5.5 left in this opening quarter. Fake to Bennett. Up on top and wide open is Marcus Allen. Bono a step too long on the throw. Allen had beaten the linebacker Mike Jones.
Well, you only get so many chances a game to make big plays. The Chief offense, they keep talking about, we got to make more big plays. Good play action fake. Bono hides the ball very well, and Marcus Allen, in this league, you just don't get that wide open.
My fault. Your fault.
That hurts twice.
Well,
it's against the Raiders.
Bono said my fault. He said your fault.
He could taste the 6. 2nd and 10. Greg Hill's first attempt. And the young running back giving Allen a breather. Sprints out to the 50 before Jones and Anderson can stop him 20 yards on the play.
This is what Greg Hill brings to this backfield. Marcus Allen is so steady and smooth, he glides. But watch what Hill does when he gets to the hole. He's going to his left. Boom! As soon as he sees the hole, he's up in it, and he's got 15 yards.
Total of 20-21 on the play and a first down at midfield. Bono, Hill again. Tries the other side, and he darts to the 46. 2nd and 6 before Greg Biekert can wrap him up.
You know, Phil, we're talking in the opening of the show about how patient and disciplined.
Ball outside the Raider 45, 2nd and a long 5. 9 men on the line of scrimmage for the Raiders as Bono throws incomplete. Tripping off the line of scrimmage was Chris Penn, and a late flag comes in.
This flag was so late it was almost in the next play. It's going to be on Terry McDaniel.
36 McDaniel, a Pro Bowler
Holding.
4 times.
Number 36, defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, Terry McDaniel's he's really well, right there you can see him grabbing the jersey. That's what they call, and that was holding. He impeded the progress of the wide receiver, and that's when you have to call.
He also reached down and grabbed his knee. he grabbed him by the shoulder, then reached down and grabbed him by the knee.
Former high school star in Saginaw, Michigan. And a brilliant cornerback for the Raiders. First down on the penalty at the 40. Marcus Allen. And they're waiting for him again. A loss of about 3. Smith and Jones make the tackle. A reminder coming up on NBC next weekend, the tradition of Notre Dame football returning. Star quarterback Ron Paula, 2nd down 13. Bono, good protection. Incomplete. Biekert breaks it up. Intended for Derek Walker.
You know, I have the feeling in this ball game, just watch the Raiders on a couple series of downs and now watching the Chiefs in their play, that we are going to see an awful lot of Greg Hill and Napoleon Kaufman, because these guys are the kind of guys that you have to run against a defense like this. You can't have slower, deliberate players running plays. You've got to get at them.
3rd down and 13. Raiders bring in a couple extra defensive backs. 3 wides for Kansas City. Bono to the near side. Complete. Lake Dawson, but they're ruling now he did not have possession. Terry McDaniel, the cover man.
Excellent job by Terry McDaniel. Terry McDaniel is a cornerback who likes to watch the quarterback during his drop, and that's the reason why he's able to make those breaks and those out routes. He sees Steve Bono getting ready to throw the football. He knows it's coming his way.
Well, he knocks it out. I mean, they never had a chance for Dawson to get control because McDaniel's arm was around his waist and knocking the ball away. That's great defense.
In pooch punt range now for Louis Aguiar. Tim Brown standing at the 10. And into the end zone. Touchback at the 20. The Raiders will have it next with 3 minutes, 3 seconds left in the opening period.
Bad punt. I used to love to just rip my chin strap off, you know, but I always did it on the first time. Here's Louis Aguiar. Watch this. He can't even do it the first time. Look at now. It finally. Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show you punters are not very good athletes.
Well, but Paul played linebacker.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I keep hearing about this linebacker he played. I want to see it.
I'm going to go get some old film. Very old.
From the 20-yard line, no score late in the first quarter. Billy Joe Hobart goes deep, and no one there. Darryl Hobbs was the closest white jersey. Hobart from the University of Washington. And Neil Smith in a little debate, I believe, with Steve Wisniewski.
Well, who else on the Raider line? Steve Wisniewski always likes to take the play to the limit until they blow that extra whistle to stop it. And that was just a love tap.
Well, let me tell you, and what Wisniewski saying, you just can't stand around out
That's
here.
right.
They don't standing around.
Glover, the tight end, in motion. Down the middle, and caught by Tim Brown. 15 yards and a first down. Brian Washington, the tackler.
They said something very interesting to us. Billy Joe Hobart said it to us as you see this replay of Billy looking downfield, that he said, I'm supposed to throw to the primary target. Then Tim Brown said to us, if I'm the primary target, look at Billy Joe Hobart just looking at Tim Brown. He said, I must get open. And that's exactly what he did.
Excellent job on the play fake there, right? And Tim Brown gets open over the middle, really, because Martin Bayless went for the play fake and didn't get the double coverage on Tim Brown.
Harvey Williams on first down, breaks a tackle, then tripped up after a gain of 3. Neil Smith in on the stop. Harvey Williams, who was not productive in Kansas City as a #1 draft pick, but certainly has given the Raiders 2 solid seasons.
Phil, I want you to look at the tight end Glover coming down. He's right up here. Watch him get sandwiched between 2 guys. He comes in the block. He's sneaking down. Watch this. Whap!
Well, he occupies 2 men.
Yeah, he did. He did a great job. But I don't think he expected to get hit by the other one.
Bunch formation. 3 men to the right for the Raiders on 2nd and 7. And it's caught by Brown again. Almost surprised that it got through all the men in front of him. And a first down at the Raider, or at the Chiefs' 43-yard line. Brown said, I didn't know that was going to come to me.
Darryl Hobbs, number 80, was looking for the ball. He thought it was supposed to go to him.
He was open too, but the Raiders went to 3 receivers all bunched together, and what it did, it confused the Kansas City defense, and that's why Tim Brown is wide open.
Another catch for Brown, and the Raiders in Chiefs territory with a first down. 1 minute left in the opening quarter. Caught hit in the backfield by Martin Bayless, number 21, who has moved in as a linebacker, many years out of Bowling Green, safety, and used as a linebacker by Kansas City this season.
Dick, here's what we were talking about right here, see these three receivers all together? Oakland wants to do that so those Kansas City defensive backs can't jam them at the line of scrimmage and keep them from getting down the field.
Second down, short 9. Hobart looking for Brown. He's covered. Hobart throws it away. Being pressured by Derek Thomas. Jeff Foxworthy is bringing his own brand of must-see family comedy to NBC Monday. The Jeff Foxworthy Show kicking off Monday nights at 8, 7 Central. That'll be in 2 weeks on NBC. Foxworthy on Monday. 18 seconds left in this first quarter. The Raiders come up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 9. Hobart is 3 for 9.
Well, when you go to 7 defensive backs, Phil, and 4 down linemen, that puts a lot of pressure on the line.
The throw to Williams is too tall. He was covered well by Mark Collins. Brings up 4th down with 14 seconds left in this opening period. Jeff Hostetler has been given medical clearance. His knee injury that has taken him out of the first 2 games. He's the 3rd quarterback today, the emergency quarterback, but likely will be the starter in the home opener against Jacksonville at Oakland next Sunday.
And I think it's a good decision by Mike White to hold him out, because I played when I had some nicks or whatever, and as a quarterback, especially in a situation like this here at this stadium, it's hard to get that out of your mind when you know you're going to get hit.
And Mike White told us, he says the doctors have cleared him. He's 100% to play. He said, but coming off of a knee injury, it was my decision to say to him, hey, you're not going to play.
A timeout has been called with 14 seconds left in the quarter. Don't know whether they felt they didn't have the right men on the field or enough. And Jeff Gossett kicked at Eastern Illinois, and with many NFL teams before finding a home in that Raider uniform, sends another one to the top of the stadium in height. They let it go. Vanover, and it'll be down by James Trapp at the 1-yard line. James Trapp, who was the NFL's fastest man a year ago, and as you saw yesterday on NBC, James Jett, his teammate, won that NFL fastest man contest.
James Trapp is an excellent special teams player, and the thing he does here that's very impressive, he gets past James Hasty and he goes right down to the goal line, keeping his eye on the ball. And he makes sure he doesn't get near that goal line and reacts to the ball. Excellent job.
And a perfect punt by Gossett had the right bounce on it. So the Chiefs from their 3-yard line. Final play of this opening quarter. And they give the big fullback Tony Richardson just plowing straight ahead, and another flag. Mark Bright and his crew have been certainly busy as expected in this opening period.
There is no foul for illegal substitution. Number 69 reported. There is no foul. The quarter is over.
Jeff Criswell did report as a tight end. The end of the opening period. No score. The Chiefs, the Raiders. Welcome back to Kansas City. Dick Enberg with Phil Simms, Paul McGuire, Kurt Schottenheimer, and his defensive backs. The rage hasn't quite struck Kansas City, the Macarena, with full impact, but we understand that they're going to try to set a record today if Paul McGuire will become the 78,001st person.
And second, he counts as 2.
There we go. Second down and 8 from the 5. Bono down the middle to Vanover. And he is the new go-to receiver for Steve Bono. Tomerick Vanover, well covered by Terry McDaniel, and Vanover injured on the play.
Am I reading this right? Are they double teaming this guy all over the field?
Well, that time they didn't, and you're going to see Terry McDaniels again. Look at him. He sees the quarterback. He knows when to break. It's just excellent technique, and he does the right thing. Hit the ball in the air. Hope that one of your players can hustle to the ball and make the interception.
Looks like Eddie Anderson, who comes over the top, might have hit Vanover with his knee in the helmet. Young man, he's only 22 from Florida State, and what an impact he had last year. As he no score, and they attend to Tomrick Vanover, the wide receiver for the Chiefs, and help him to his feet. Here's what happened.
Watch Eddie Anderson's hands right there, hitting the helmet and just whiplashing his head over to the left, and that looks to be the reason why Tomrick Vanover was down.
3rd down and 8. 7 catches against Houston, a week to go. Walker, the tight end, in motion. Bono just gets it off to Donnell Bennett. Mike Jones right there to make the tackle, and Andre Bruce was pressuring Bono, so no first down.
Andre Bruce pressure. That's again where now that the Raiders can go to, they got 8 linemen that they can use. Andre Bruce on the outside.
And nobody's there to block Andre Bruce, and really just not a well-designed play in that situation to leave a down lineman unblocked.
Only 3-yard gain, so Louis Aguiar to punt again. Tim Brown back at 35 of the Raiders. A high wobbly kick short. Brown at the 46. Chased to the sidelines and tackled at the 46-yard line. No score here in Kansas City. Greg Gumbel, what do you have for us in New York?
Down there by the name of Chris Chandler, who these Kansas City Chiefs said last week, hey, this guy is pretty good. He's tough.
It's a shame so few people will cheer him in Houston as the Raiders go to work in this scoreless game down the middle of Brown. And he trips down at the 20-yard line, but wide open again. Hasty and Washington make the tackle.
But again, it all starts with the offensive line. What great protection that Billy Joe Hobart had.
Excellent pass protection, but here's the key. Up top you have Tim Brown, but once James Jett cleared out and Tim Brown just come behind him, it always helps, Paul. We talk about it so much, that speed. It makes defenders get off, and look at that hole in the middle.
25-yard play, the deepest penetration for either team at the 20. Joe Aska, backup fullback in motion. He may have been going forward as they toss it to Williams. He's smothered for a 2-yard loss as Neil Smith and Mark Collins come in to make the tackle along with Brian Washington.
You know, Dick, we look at these two teams and you sit down and you talk to these people and you look at all the speed that both of these teams have and all the power on offense that they should have. But when it comes down to these two teams playing, it's defense. And it always is.
Good. I mean, in this day and age of offense, I'm glad there's still a couple good defenses in this league that can get after it.
Oh, yeah. Brown to the right, James Jett to the left. The give, no, fake to Williams. Hobart. Over the middle, intercepted by Tracy Simeon. Simeon has the first turnover of the game.
Excellent job by Billy Joe Hobart buying some time, and it's a good job by James Jett seeing the open spot in the field, stopping. He just forgets to make the catch, and Tracy Simeon showing some good hands and gathering that interception.
James Jett looks like he just can't get up high enough. The ball is throwing high back to the inside and a little bit in his defense. It goes off of his hands, and Simeon is there. Once again, I'm talking about just outstanding defense.
And the Chiefs, who have dominated the Raiders because of those turnovers, they've just had so many more forced fumbles and interceptions. Fumble again, Marcus Allen, and he fumbles, and it goes into the arms of one of his blockers as number 61, Tim Grunnard, covers. Turnovers, ratios in the 90s. The top teams. Look at the Chiefs. Wow. Plus 88. I mean, they're 42 more than the Steelers in second.
Well, and what we showed at the beginning of the show about what they were just against the Raiders alone, it's 34-11. Now it's, what, another one? Add that one and put 35 up.
On second and 10. Bono off a play-action fake. He fumbles. And Walker recovers for Kansas City. Back-to-back plays, fumbles forced by the Raiders, and both times Kansas City covers the mistake.
Strictly the quarterback's fault right there. when you drop back, there's got to be a sense, you know, it's time to get rid of the football. The Kansas City line does an excellent job of holding the defenders out. Bono just holds the ball too long, and Chester McLaughlin comes all the way around and makes the play.
Are you saying that you don't have 17 seconds to throw the ball?
Generally not.
Here comes Chester. Look how far he has to come to get it. He has to go all the way around the backside to get there. I agree with you. That's Bono's fault.
They gain 4 yards on the fumble. Bono. Right open is Marcus Allen. And Allen to the Raider 45-yard line. A gain of 30 on the play.
Well, let's get right back. Let me tell you, Steve Bono does an excellent job of looking right. Nobody's open. Showing wonderful presence. Turns around and looks to his left. Watch the quarterback. Looks right. Nothing. Oh, he doesn't like it. Stays calm. Looks to the backside. And Marcus Allen just leaves Lorenzo Lynch way behind.
But Marcus comes off limping on the play. Allen, all-time running backs, he feels he should be up in the 700s had he played as much as he wanted to with the Raiders. Updated, he's only 16 behind retired Roger Craig, the former 49er back, with most catches in NFL history by a runner.
You know, that just shows to me the patience of a quarterback. I mean, the guy.
Chiefs, Greg Hill behind some blockers. Accelerates across the 40-yard line before Albert Lewis can make the stop. Jim Gray.
All right, Dick. Tamarick Vanover has a bruised right shoulder, and he had the wind knocked out of him. They're examining him now. His return is questionable. Dick.
All right, Jim Vanover, a top weapon in that Kansas City offense, and maybe lost for the game.
He is a top weapon because Phil pointed out right off the first play of the game, they're double teaming this guy. Now when you have a guy out there that takes 2 people, it takes a lot away from your offense.
Gain of 7 by Hill on first down. And a flag before the snap as Tim Brunner, the center.
We got the center.
And you could hear the umpire said, we got the center. False start.
61 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
I like to look at Grunner. He turns around and he goes, what was that on? What was that on?
Oh. It was just a flinch.
I mean, he's the guy with the ball. I mean, they're all watching that thing.
It's amazing as a quarterback or the center how many times we would walk to the line of scrimmage when I played and we go, what's it on? And you forget. You're thinking of so many things, who to block, who to throw it to. You forget the snap count.
Second down and 8 after the penalty. Bono has a man open. And it's Danon Hughes with his first catch, a first down inside the 35.
Well, I just go back all the time. I know you like the quarterback throwing, but when you have all that time to throw, you better find somebody open.
Oh, absolutely. And that time, something the Kansas City Chiefs told us, or some of the coaches told us yesterday, is that this Raider defense, and there you see Danon Hughes just pushing Terry McDaniel off and making the easy catch. The Raiders used to be such a man-to-man team, now play a lot more zone. It makes it easier to throw the ball.
10 yards on the catch. Give us inside. And Todd McNair, who has rejoined the Chiefs after a couple of years in Houston, his first carry today. Looking ahead to next week, we're going to be in Dallas, but it all begins NBC Sports NFL action at noon Eastern with the NFL on NBC. And then most of you will see the Packers host the Chargers and Junior Seau. Others, the Dolphins, Jets, or the Ravens square off against the Oilers. Then the second half of the doubleheader will be at Texas Stadium to see Aikman and the Super Bowl champs against Jim Harbaugh and the Colts. Others will see the Raiders, Jags, or Chiefs and Seahawks. Fake to McNair. On top it goes, and contact in the end zone, but incidental is the call as McDaniel and Hughes bump into one another.
He lines up different, Terry McDaniel, doesn't he?
Terry McDaniel loves to line up outside the receiver. Like we said, he loves to look at the quarterback, and that's why teams do this. They give double moves, try to make him come up, and then go behind him. It worked last week against him. No goal this time. And I know everybody thinks this is a penalty, but he is trying to turn around and look. And I will admit, that ball was not catchable.
I think that entered into the decision by the official.
Yes.
Third down and 9. And they give it on a run try to cross him up to Kimball Anders, and Anders is rocked at the 30 by Rob Fredrickson and Eddie Anderson. Yeah, let's see if Pete Stoyanovich goes for a long one. Yes, they sent him out. The new kicker here in Kansas City, acquired by trade, a 5th-round pick with the Miami Dolphins in the summer. Stoyanovich made both of his attempts at Houston a week ago, and this is a long one. It'll be 48 yards.
First kick at home for him. Everybody's holding their breath.
Then Elliott's 3 misses against the Colts in the playoffs, still haunting Kansas City. This one is no good. He hits the upright. And of course, that'll give the Raiders good field position. They'll take over at the spot of the kick, the 38-yard line.
You can't hit this any straighter into the post. Look at it. Bop.
It's still scoreless at Arrowhead with field goal. No matter how good you are, you go down to the end of the bench. They don't want to talk to you, not many of them. 48-yarder missed by Stoyanovich. Still no score as Billy Joe Hobart guns a long one. Intended for James Jett, and no foul is called.
Now, there's a reason there's no foul, and I know Phil Simms is very upset. He tripped on his feet.
That's still a penalty.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Darren
it is.
Anderson trips on his feet. Look at him, he tripped on his feet. That's not a penalty.
Sure looked as if there was some contact with that left forearm.
Well, here's the kick, and it's right all the way and hits the upright.
I was waiting for you to go boink. I know you like to do that.
Boink. Not that. I did it when the first time it hit.
And Marty wanted that one. So it remains scoreless, 2nd and 10. The toss to Kaufman. Caught in the backfield. Derek Thomas. A man with a kind of burst of speed that will deny those halfbacks that want to skirt the flank.
I don't think you want to run a toss to his side. Now, they got those 3 receivers out there, but look, you got a receiver blocking Derek Thomas. That's not fair.
It's a rookie receiver. It's Ricky Dudley, and the one thing this Kansas City Chiefs defense is going to do is penetrate, get up the field, so don't try to run outside.
7-yard loss, 3rd down and 17. Flag down. It'll be against the Raiders. False start. No play. So much noise that Kaufman couldn't hear the whistle.
Do you know what happened on this play? I'm telling you, Neil Smith moves his arm, and that forced Hobbs, number 80, a wide receiver, to come off the line of scrimmage. He was looking down.
Number 80, offense.
I mean,
prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's incredible that he's not blocking him. He's not looking at him. He's a defensive lineman down on the line of scrimmage, and Hobbs is looking in and sees it.
5 more yards marked off against the Raiders. 3rd and 22. 3 wide receivers. Dudley on the right side, the tight end, and hit in the backfield, but Kaufman breaks a tackle. Another flag is down as Kaufman to the 35-yard line, and it's holding against the Raiders.
Well, the center, Robbins, actually tackled Martin Bayless as he came up in. I don't know if it's going to be on him or not.
Mike White, the 60-year-old head coach of the Raiders in his 2nd year, showing his fury with the penalty call. The Raiders are, the Chiefs are going to decline.
Offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
They want the ball, don't want to take any chances. Brings up 4th down and long anyway. 4th and about 13.
That was Robbins because they had the blitz on it. He had to tackle Bayless.
If you're the Oakland Raiders, you just got to know there's going to be holding penalties today because of the pass rush and the crowd noise. It's hard for these offensive linemen.
With Vanover injured, Dale Carter, the all-pro cornerback, drifts back to the 24. Of course, he has returned kicks earlier in his career. One for a touchdown the first time he touched the ball in the NFL against the Chargers. Very high and short. Carter's going to let it bounce. And it takes a Raider roll to the 27-yard line. 38 yards on the punt and a little push and shove back at the 40-yard line. Dan Land engaged with Greg Minuski. I mean, it wouldn't be the Chiefs and Raiders if we didn't have at least one of these, would it?
Well, they're on the top of the screen. I watched Trubisky won't let him up. And Land wants to get up.
1, 2, 3.
It's a pin. It's a pin. He's got his shoulders down. It's a pin.
Now that is illegal, too. Oh.
That face mask illegal? No. We'll be right back.
It's holding the Raiders answering in kind. No score. 5.5 minutes left in this opening half. Chiefs take over at the 28. Bono to throw. Dumps it off. Caught by Anders. Awkward pass. But the Chiefs like the result all the way to the 45-yard line.
Kimball Anders on this play he's supposed to be a blocker. That's all he is. But he has no one to block. Watch what he does. Heads up football. He's looking. I have no one to block. Everybody's taking. And just slip out here. Bono sees him, drops the ball off, but the run afterwards. Watch this. He is something special. Back to the inside. A couple of missed tackles. That's 3. You're not going to bring him down by hitting him with a shoulder. I'll tell you that.
No, he's led Kansas City in catches the last 2 years. A pretty well-kept secret. 67 2 years ago and 55 to lead the team last year. Play action Bono into the flat. Damon Hughes, no catch. He didn't get both feet down apparently. Terry McDaniel. Boy, the Chiefs continue to pick on a very tough defender, McDaniel.
Well, where do you go, Dick? You go over the other side, and there's Albert Lewis. Nice push off by Damon Hughes. Excellent catch. Good throw by Steve Bono. And it looks like he doesn't get his left foot down. Watch his left foot. It's down. Oh, it's a catch.
Boy, they're discussing this. You know, they got to call this a catch. I mean, I don't care where the ball landed out of bounds. His feet touched. Now they're going to give him the catch there.
The pass is ruled complete.
Boy,
Second down.
At the 46-yard line, they mark it. 2nd and 1.
watch it. Right here you'll see left foot, right foot. They're both down. He had control of the football.
Wait a minute. I'll tell you what's wrong with this whole thing.
By 2 yards.
It's a first down. I mean, he's beyond the red marker. That's what he's talking about. Take a look. There's no way that this thing can be back where they put it.
Well, instead of 11 yards, which it should have been, it's 9 yards and a catch, so the Chiefs aren't all that unhappy. 2nd and 1. And it's Anders up the right side for a first down at the 43-yard line. Still no score.
All right, when we look at this thing again, now watch where the red flag is. Forget about everything else. They already ruled it a catch. Now the red flag is where the first down marker is. Watch Hughes. He catches the ball. Now where is he? I mean, you're right. There goes an 11-yard gain, and they gave him 9. That's some weird stuff going on here. You know what I mean?
Well,
as you said, Paul, they only missed by 1. Second and that's about the first down, and the give is to Anders again, and he fires around the left side for what would be a first down, except holding against the Chiefs will bring it back.
They were holding big old Chester McLaughlin.
and that's a hard thing to do because that's a big man.
I mean, but if you're going to hold him, you know you're going to get caught. Albert Lewis is shaken up on the play.
Schottenheimer reading the riot act to his own players for the hold. No, now I guess he's directing this at the officials. Lewis is okay.
I love it when the coaches always say, how can you call that? Oh, because I wanted to. That's what I tell them, and just move right on.
Fouls against Kansas City. Holding number 79, that penalty is declined. Personal foul, illegal crackback foul. Number 81, 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Hey, didn't the Chiefs kind of tell us that the Raiders do that crackback more than 0-0, did it?
No score with 3.5 minutes remaining in this first half. 2 field goal attempts. Raiders were blocked, and Stoyanovich missed from 48 for Kansas City. And down goes Bono at the 41-yard line as Russell Maryland has his first sack as a Los Angeles Raider.
Did you see Penn get drilled as he came off the line of scrimmage? I mean, I've never seen this many receivers get knocked around that much. Penn comes off the line of scrimmage and he got hammered. And I think Bono was really going to go to him, but he never released from the line of scrimmage.
I don't know if he could see down the field, because the Raider defensive line did an excellent job of getting penetration, getting up the field, and that's all they talk about when you're playing the Raiders. You talk about swilling. It's the inside of that defense that gives teams problems.
Less than 3 minutes to go in this half. Second and very long for Bono. You give to Hill up the middle, and Hill to the 44-yard line where Russell Maryland, boy, he makes back-to-back plays. First the sack, then the tackle by the man who has 5 championship rings in 9 years. 2 at the University of Miami, 3 with the Cowboys as Super Bowl champions, and a great free agent pickup by the Raiders. Timeout.
AT&T presents A World Without Limits. Which team won a Super Bowl in a season?
Right here in the middle of the screen, what a good job he does of playing off the block and making the tackle on the run and play. High active, high energy defensive lineman has really helped the Raiders on the defense against the run.
Third down and 23. Down the middle to Dean and Hughes, and that'll be a first down with 2:30 remaining in the half. A big 24-yard play.
When you get zone coverage on defense, sometimes where you can get the big plays is up the seams against that zone inside. Excellent catch by Danon Hughes.
Caught the back half of the ball.
He did. I mean, he had to turn around, and that is one of the toughest catches you can make. Albert Lewis gets caught up in the middle of the field, and Hughes just makes that turn and makes the play.
Trying to get one play off before the 2-minute warning. 2:03, 2:02. And not going to make it. The 2-minute timeout here in the first half. Kansas City with a first down at the Raiders 31 when we return.
Danon Hughes right here, going right up the seam. The 3D coverage, he tries to hit between the 2 safeties. Steve Bono does an excellent job of looking it off and throwing to the back shoulder. That's how you pick up 3rd and 22s. You hit the seams of those zone coverages.
First down for the Chiefs. 2 minutes left in the half. At the 31 of the Raiders, Kansas City saw Oakland get down to their 20, but was stopped by an interception. Tracy Simeon. No score. Bono into the flat. Derek Walker, the tight end, inside the Raider 25 to the 24. Hit hard. Terry McDaniel in on the stop.
Oh, Hughes comes back to make a block, and he hurt his hands. He comes back to help out the receiver, and the receiver also, Walker, he's hurt.
And the Chiefs are already short on tight ends. Keith Cash, their starting tight end, not in uniform today with an injury.
They better hire some more trainers because they got them all over the place.
Both Walker and Hughes apparently with hand or arm injuries. 1:41 left in the half.
Right here, and as soon as he makes the block, his arms are out. Now, I don't know if he got hurt there or when he landed on his arm, but watch him right now. He grabs his arm, and then Walker, of course, got hit out of bounds, so he's also hurt.
And Marty Schottenheimer had a very tough decision on his playing roster today, and one of the things he did was keep active Reggie Johnson.
And that might turn out to be the best move or the biggest move of the game, because Derek Walker would have been the only tight end out there today. And the Chiefs were ready for this scenario in case it did happen.
Let's watch to see how Walker was.
They're looking at his hands, so that's when he fell on his shoulder.
Second down, it's closer to 3 for the first down. Bono to the end zone to Dawson, incomplete.
That's pass interference.
And it's called on Albert Lewis, who faints in the end zone.
And here's another hurt guy.
Dawson is injured, another wrist or hand injury, and he's acting as though this could be serious. No?
You know, Albert Lewis, the reason they call this play, I mean, he had excellent coverage, but the reason they call it is that his left arm goes around Lake Dawson's waist. And when you do that, that's the first thing that they look at when you're beaten.
Defense in the end zone. First down on the 1-yard line.
As soon as you're beaten, the first thing the officials will do, they'll look at that left arm. The right arm reaches over top. Here comes Albert Lewis. Watch his left arm. Don't look at anything else on 29 White. Watch what it does. Or his right arm, excuse me. There it is. The left arm around the neck. Boom. They call it.
Well, first and goal for the Chiefs. Trying to to break this scoreless tie in the final 2 minutes of the half. Marcus Allen. He's stuffed. He fights forward. He fumbles. And it's recovered in the end zone by the Chiefs. They're going to rule the ball dead at the 1-foot line. Tony Richardson, that would have been the third fumble recovered by Kansas City, their own fumble.
Philip, we are seeing some strange calls. Here it comes. You call it. Is he stopped? Here's Marcus Allen steps in. Now he's moving back to the outside. That's a fumble, folks.
It's a fumble.
That is a fumble.
And would have been a touchdown Kansas City, since that was a first down play. Lorenzo Lynch made the hit.
Turn to the spot of the fumble, which is the half-yard line. Second down.
He couldn't recover the fumble. The only guy in the last 2 minutes of the half and the last 5 minutes of the game would have been Marcus Allen. Was the only guy that can recover the fumble. But it should have been a fumble.
That, of course, ruled to prevent that.
They ruled it a fumble. It was ruled a fumble. They get it back because they recovered it in the end zone.
Boy, that one looked like a mixed play. Now they throw in the end zone to Tony Richardson for a touchdown.
Oh,
what a catch by Richardson. His first NFL touchdown. The man used for short yardage and blocking Tony Richardson, a free agent out of Auburn, with quite a catch for the 1-yard touchdown. Stoyanovich with a point after, and the Chiefs lead 7-0. But that fumble recovery in the end zone by Kansas City, of course,
in the end zone.
That's to prevent that fumbling forward to get a Chief touchdown.
Dave Casper.
Holy roller play. Stoyanovich to kick it off. Kenny Shen and Napoleon Kaufman are deep. This is Kaufman. Never able to get to full speed, and he stopped inside the 20. Pause here to remind you folks that Third Rock from the Sun has started its 2-week countdown to the season premiere. NBA superstar Dennis Rodman.
Is he going to be a woman or a man alien?
Maybe an it.
He might be. Yeah, that's right.
Hobart and the Raiders from just outside their 18-yard line with 1:03 remaining in the half.
Charge timeout. Kansas City, a 30-second timeout.
Chiefs charged with a 30-second timeout. You're watching the NFL on NBC. On this second week of the NFL season, Greg Gumbel, Mike Ditka, Chris Collinsworth, Joe Gibbs, the Domino's Pizza halftime report coming up. 1:03 left in the half in Kansas City. Harvey Williams to the 22, maybe the 23.
You know what's interesting about this? The Raiders are running. You know why? Because the Kansas City Chiefs, they have 8 defensive backs, 1 linebacker, Thomas, and 2 defensive linemen. That's all they have in the field. There are 8 defensive backs out there. So why not try to run? And then they only gained 3 yards.
Well, they want to get to halftime, Paul.
Wait a minute, man. I mean,
you got any chances?
Why not? I mean, you got plenty of time.
Apparently, Mike White said, hey, let's not give the Chiefs any chance to turn it over. We played a good half, although down 7-0. And another run, and Williams to the 25-yard line. That could be it. 16 seconds, 15. Neil Smith makes the stop. Neil playing well. No wonder Mom Letitia's here, and she makes the world's greatest sweet potato pie, and he is well fortified, as are we. The end of the half. The Chiefs and the Raiders down and dirty. Emphasis on the defense. And Tony Richardson alertly falls on a Marcus Allen fumble and allows himself then to score his first NFL touchdown on the next total yards in Kansas City's favor, and the touchdown coming on a 1-yard play to Tony Richardson, a pass from Steve Bono, and not living up to the high expectations. The two former running backs, Williams, who used to be in Kansas City, 7 carries for 10, and Marcus Allen, they really put the clamps on him.
Well, I said it in the first quarter of the ballgame, and I really think so. I think Hill's got to get into the game for Kansas City, and Kaufman's got to get into the game for the Raiders. And the team that can run the most successful in the second half will win this football game.
We knew Kansas City had a good rushing defense. Last year, Oakland's didn't have the discipline to be a good on defense against the rush. This year, really, I can't say enough. Russell Maryland is making a tremendous difference to this team, and especially the defense.
You really like McLaughlin and Maryland in the middle, don't you?
Well, I think Russell Maryland played against him many times. Such a guy of high activity. I think he's going to raise the play of Chester McLaughlin.
Raiders will get it first. Stojanovic has it teed up. Napoleon Kaufman deep for the Raiders. Kaufman at his goal line, bobbles, and will return it out across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Jim Gray.
All right, Dick, I spoke to Mike White, and he said he liked the tempo of the first half, liked the way they played, particularly defensively. Offensively, he said he's going to try and get the ball into the hands of Napoleon Kaufman more in the second half. Now, for the Chiefs, they're going to have some problems offensively. Tarek Vanover is out for the game with some bruised ribs. Also, Derek Walker, a left shoulder bruise. He is questionable, as is Lake Dawson with a left wrist bruise, so that could be very key here in the second half. Dick?
All right, thanks, Jim. Now, the injuries hitting the Chiefs in the first 30 minutes as the Raiders start at the 24. Billy Joe Hobart sending Tim Brown in motion. He was his top weapon in the first half. He looks for him here, and there he is. First down across the 35-yard line. Mark Collins makes the tackle. 11 yards for Tim Brown.
Well, the Oakland Raiders today so far have done an excellent job of giving Billy Joe Hobart some open targets on first down passing, and right there, right between the safety and the corner, Tim Brown does an excellent job of finding that hole.
His fourth catch for 70 yards, the leading receiver in yards in the AFC the last 3 years. He caught 90, 89 in 94 and 89 again last year. Inside handoff to Williams, and he's out to the 41-yard line on a first down carry. Going back to Tim Brown, he had a long reception of about 38 yards called back on a penalty, and still has 4 catches today for 70 yards.
But when you see him throwing the ball to Tim Brown all the time, Phil, you've got to throw to some other people. I mean, to get him open too.
Well, Tim Brown does most of his damage inside, and that's where most of the area is. He's a fearless receiver going across the middle, and that's one of the reasons why they're able to get it to him so much.
The pump fake. Hobart looking for Fenner, has to throw it away as Fenner was well covered by Martin Bayless.
Martin Bayless, look at Fenner. Martin Bayless there now. To the right of him, Fenner's listening. Look at Fenner listening to the coach. All right, what are you telling him to do to me? Martin Bayless grabbed him as he came out and stayed with him, and then the coach brought him to the side and tell him Martin what to do, and Fenner said, excuse me, I didn't hear all that.
Well, even if he heard it, do you think he knew what to do with the information? That's the problem.
It'll be 3rd down and 4 from the Raider 41. Bayless now playing at 223 pounds as a linebacker. Fenner and Aska, 2 fullbacks behind Hobart. Saliamua putting the pressure on. The throw complete to Hobbs. Darrell Hobbs, a first down at the Chiefs 43, 16 on the play.
I'm going to tell you what, this is a perfect pass. And I mean, it could have gotten him killed, but watch Hobbs keep his eyes on the ball. He comes in the middle, and there's some coverage there. Look at this. He just stays with it, knows he's going to get hit, catches the football. That's great.
Excellent job by Darrell Hobbs of going up and catching it with his body, and that's what you should do when you're in traffic.
Well, he knew that Hasty was going to give him a mean pop. Hobart 6 of 16. The interception was really not his fault. It was a deflected pass. Over the middle to Brown again. And he has the ball to the 37-yard line, about 3.5 yards shy of a first down.
Excellent job by the Oakland Raiders offensive line against this tough pass rush, just throwing the ball basically on every single down. And And again, you see Tim Brown catching the ball over the middle in traffic. Watch Billy Joe Hobart and look at that offensive line, especially up front. Nobody in his face. That's the key to a quarterback.
Tim Brown, who cramped up in the game at Baltimore in the second half last week, that really hurt the Raiders' chances. Joe Aska, speedy fullback to the 31 and a first down. Aska from Central Oklahoma has only one eye, lost his right eye as a kid at age 9 in a gun accident, and he runs a 4.4 and he weighs 240 pounds.
You know, you guys keep talking about these backs away all this and the defensive backs away all this weight. Do you know what Billy Joe weighs? 238. Now that's big for a quarterback.
that is, and he's not 6'4" either.
No, he's not.
First down for the Raiders. A substantial drive with a kickoff to start this second half. Looking for Brown. Instead goes the other way. And Jet can't catch up with it. I believe he had stepped out of bounds anyway at about the 13-yard line.
James Hasty, number 40, was running down the sideline with him, and he just kind of let him go. Now, look on the outside. If you go out right here, you can't come back in and catch. And Hasty knows it. He just let him go.
You can if you are forced out by the defender. You can come back.
Okay.
If you go out under your own volition.
That's right.
But Hasty, I think Hasty thought that the way he let him go, that he can't come back in and catch the ball.
2nd and 10. Jet. And a flag down as Darren Anderson, trying to contain Jet, may have had an illegal chuck.
Holding number 44, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Darren Anderson up top. He knows he has to cover James Jett all over the field, and I'm still looking for the penalty.
It's a hands to the face, but it should have been
called. It's a blitz, and watch the safety here for the Chiefs run up. They cannot pick it up. Excellent job by Billy Joe Hobart seeing it and getting rid of the ball before the defender gets to him.
First down on the penalty to the 26-yard line.
Phil, that wasn't a holding penalty.
Right.
He hit him right in the head with his hands, and that's what they should have called.
That's right, Paul.
Again, they bunch 3 receivers in tight on the right side. And they give it to Aska. And he's chopped down at the 24-yard line as William White and Anderson collaborated on the stop. White, who played with Detroit, was a trade pickup 2 years ago with the Lions.
I like what Mike White said, you know, to Jim Gray. We got to get the ball to Napoleon Kaufman and have him run. He also has to get in the game, doesn't he, before you can give it to him? He hadn't been in yet, except for the opening kickoff, unless something happened to him on that kickoff.
2nd down and 8. Hobart batted away from Brown by White, and flags fly. One in the backfield and one where White made contact with a receiver.
You're going to have a holding against the Raiders. That's in the backfield.
And it would appear interference against Kansas City, or at least defensive holding.
They'll offset each other.
Pass interference, number 35, defense. Illegal hands to the face, number 75, offense. Penalties offset, 2nd down.
Pat Harlow, I'll tell you what, Pat Harlow, number 75, playing left tackle, when he sat down, they made 2 trades. The only 2 trades they made, the Raiders, and that was for 2 tackles. Now here's Harlow. Look at this. He's got his hands in Derek Thomas's face, and that's a penalty.
That's a chiropractic move, isn't it? Where you get that one hand in the back and the other to your chin.
Yeah, you go to the chiropractor after it's over. That's what
I'll get back to that about the trade in a second.
2nd down and 8. Looking for Jet in the end zone, and he falls down. Jet unable to stay on his feet as he was double teamed, and Hobart bumped to the ground by Sally Amua and Derek Thomas.
The thing about Harlow now, they went out, the Raiders just made 2 trades, and they made it for the tackles. One, Lincoln Kennedy, and also Pat Harlow. And here's Pat Harlow, we're watching here. He says that one of the problems, people don't really think that much about it, but I have to, as a tackle, I'm used to playing right tackle. Now, they say, well, what's the difference of putting your right hand down or your left hand? Big difference.
A lot. Yeah, it's really a great job of him adjusting from right tackle to left tackle.
Harlow, #1 draft pick by New England. 3rd and 8. There they come. And it's caught. What a throw by Hobart as he finds Darrell Hobbs in a 1st down. As Mark Collins came in on a safety blitz.
Excellent job of Billy Joe Hobart of hanging in there when blitzers are coming free. Again, Mark Collins coming up, timing the snap perfectly. Watch him come through. Billy Joe sees him, able to get rid of the football in time.
Boy, you know, I'll tell you, Billy Joe, that you got to give him.
Number 58, defense. Lined up in the neutral zone. Penalty decline. 1st down.
You got to give him an awful lot of credit because he knew he was going to get drilled. I mean, it really takes a lot of guts to stand there, knowing that you're going to get hammered, and then stay there and throw and complete the pass.
I'll tell you, that's one of the reasons why he's a big guy, weighs 238, Paul. He can take the hits and the punishment.
Oh, best
really?
drive of the day.
Is that easy for him to say?
At the 14 for the Raiders, trying to tie it up into the end zone. No, he threw it away. As well covered was Jet. 2 men were on him.
Oh, I'll tell you, what a great catch by the drummer in the band. I mean, the drummer made a great catch.
He's a good athlete. You got to be a good athlete to be a drummer. But back to the field, what's important here, I think, but Billy Joe, right there, he showed you something that he probably would not have done last year. The play didn't look good, throw it away, wait for 2nd down.
Back to that drummer, he snared it, is what we're getting from down on the field. 2nd and 10. Napoleon Kaufman fights his way close to the 7-yard line and a flag down, and that usually means face mask.
You know, I said little and you corrected me, short in stature, but I'm telling you, Dick, this guy is so strong, and Neil Smith.
Number 34, defense. 5-yard penalty.
Dale Carter. But Neil Smith said to us yesterday, we don't want to see this guy in the backfield. Napoleon Kaufman. He is so strong. Watch the leg drive after he's hit. Here comes Kaufman. He's hit here, and now watch his leg drag. He still picks up another 3 yards on the play. That is unbelievable.
Face mask on Dale Carter, 5 yards, and it's 1st and goal for the Raiders outside the 3-yard line. 7-0 Kansas City. What an opening drive of this 2nd half, engineered by that man, Billy Joe Hobart. Kaufman dropped for a 2-yard loss by Mark Collins. It'll make it William White. William White, 35. Collins is 25. 2 veterans at that safety position.
Let me ask you a question, Phil. You're down here now with this team, and I don't care what they're calling over there on the sidelines, but Billy Joe said he's not going to audibilize. But when you're seeing all these defensive backs down there, and you see these guys crowding on the line of scrimmage, what is the play you call now?
You throw the ball to the single covered receiver outside. That's one thing you know they're going to get down here in the goal line against Kansas City. Single coverage outside. It just takes courage to call it and throw it.
Andrew Glover, the tight end in motion. Fake to Williams and hit. Hobart picked up by James Hasty. He's going to go the full length of the field for a touchdown. Oh, my. Hasty, who returned an interception a year ago almost to the date in overtime to beat the Raiders, scoops up the fumble. I believe it was Derek Thomas who blindsided Hobart, forced the fumble, 80 yards for the touchdown.
Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers.
Stoyanovich for the extra point. And the Chiefs lead 14-0. It appeared the Raiders were going to tie. Watch Thomas.
What happens down when you're near the goal line, Paul? The crowd is so loud, the linemen have a hard time getting out of their stance. They caused the fumble.
In his storied career, that for Thomas is his 34th forced fumble. His 3rd sack of the year leads to James Hasty being Hasty. 80 yards for a touchdown and a 14-0 lead.
Well, they tried to block Derek Thomas with a tight end, Andrew Glover, and it didn't work.
Andrew Glover is in the game specifically to help out with the pass protection in the block, but he's no match for Derek Thomas.
I'm glad I asked you about throwing the ball. You had the guts to throw it, huh? They were supposed to throw it.
Crowd noise down in these end zones. It must be just absolutely impossible for the linemen or people to hear the snap count.
Stoyanovich kicks it to Napoleon Kaufman at the 7. And the former Washington All-America is out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Timeout. 8.5 minutes left in the 3rd. KC by 2 scores. Managing partner, President Al Davis. He didn't start in the AFL with the Raiders, but with the Los Angeles Chargers, did he not? He was your coach.
He was actually the receiver coach for Sid Gilman, and then he got the job with the Raiders.
Hobart comes back and throws incomplete. There's a receiver breaking upfield, Aska. Well, the turnovers, boy, that's with a capital T in Kansas City.
Yeah, we started out 30. It was 34 before this game started. Now it's 36 for the Raiders. And if that ball would have been down a little bit lower, it might have been 37 on top of there. Billy Joe on that play there, Phil, just looked like a busted play by the receiver. I mean, he's running for his life all the time now because they're just sending everyone.
And Hasty, who has scored both of the games he's played against the Raiders on this field, one on an interception and now a fumble recovery. Aska getting some booty, gets to the 34-yard line, and we go back just a year ago. The Chiefs and Raiders last September in overtime. Jeff Hostetler intends a pass for Tim Brown. Tim Brown runs into the official. And on comes Hasty, 64 yards in overtime to give the Chiefs a 23-17 win. Oh, don't stop it there. We missed Marty Schottenheimer's kiss. Remember, he gave James Hasty a big kiss.
Yeah. Players started hiding after big scores and then after that because Marty was going to kiss him.
The kisser's on the loose. 3rd down and 7 for the Raiders. A first down catch at the 44, and this will be a big test for Hobart and the Raiders. They were so close inside the 5-yard line to tying the game, only to have it turn so dramatically. A 14-point switch on the fumble, and Hobart goes back to work.
We got an injured player down, Dan Saliamua.
Saliamua, the giant nose tackle, defensive tackle.
Oh, Steve Wisniewski again.
After the play.
After the play, knocks him down. He falls on his hand.
Boy, no wonder he has an ugly reputation. Wisniewski.
And Dan Saliamua right there. You're going to see him in the play. Good pass protection by the Raiders. Billy Joe Hobart's going to get rid of the football. Saliamua relaxes. Wisniewski, boom, hits him. Borderline. I would say it's not a late hit.
No, but it's that old, comes under that old thing. You better pay attention at all times.
Don't stand around in a rivalry like of this magnitude between these two teams.
Hobart on first down to the flat to the tight end Dudley, and he's twisted out of bounds inside the 45. Dudley caught a pass for 30 yards last week in Baltimore.
He just caught one for a -1/2.
Boy, what a target. 6'6", 250. He was a top basketball player, a starter, power forward with the Buckeyes. 3 years as a senior, averaged nearly 15 a game and 7 rebounds.
And the thing that's impressive about him, Dick, we talked about basketball players who usually come into football are not real tough. And he has shown some toughness as a tight end.
And very mature for a young man is the call by the Raider coaches. Harvey Williams to the 47-yard line. Second down carry. That'll bring up third and about 7.
I just watched Dudley coming down and on a blocking situation on a play, and he's walking through like he didn't know who to hit. You know, I mean, he's feeling his way. And the one thing Tim Brown said about him, he said he's probably maybe one of the great tight ends in the game, but he's got to learn how to control his speed, number one, because he goes in and out of his moves full speed, which you just don't do.
Meanwhile, they work on Sally Amua on the sidelines. He appears to be okay. 14-0 Chiefs. Third quarter. Third down. Here's the blitz again. And Hobart, hits Carter in the ankle as he was covering Tim Brown.
Now
it was Darryl Hobbs, the target.
I mean, there's a situation where Billy Joe said, I've had enough of being hit, and he just threw the ball at the knees. Watch this.
Mark Collins again. Watch the bottom of your screen. Is going to come through there. He's come free every single time in this blitz, so the Chiefs are saying, well, you haven't shown us you can block it. Let's keep bringing it. Billy Joe has to throw the ball away.
With Tamarick Vanover, the punt returner, injured in the first half, Chris Penn now assumes that duty at the 11-yard line. Gossett to punt for the Raiders. Oops, a little fake here. And a fake handoff, and Gossett running to his left, and there's no one over there. First down and more, and as he hit it, the 35-yard line by James Hasty.
Trey Junkin gets the block, number 89, and he's the guy that has to sit out there and make sure this thing works. And he makes a great block on the outside. I don't know, is that Keith Traylor? Did he block 94? I don't think Traylor might have cut Gossett anyway. Well, take a look at this. Punters, you got to love this. Here it goes.
Oh, behind the back.
Now, but watch on the left of the screen. See Trey Junkin? Boom, there's the block. Nobody out there. They had offside against Kansas City.
Flag is down, however, as Hasty makes the tackle on the 39-year-old punter. We thought Marcus Allen was the oldest running back in the league. Jeff Gossett rumbling.
I wouldn't call that running.
I said rumbling.
Oh, rumbling. Okay, that's right. That was a rumble.
Special teams coach Rusty Tillman.
Was it nothing that'll pick up a team at 14-0?
Absolutely.
Like a play like that.
Got to make something happen. Get your team motivated. Get them back in the game. Excellent call by Mike White.
Steal a first down, maintain possession, and some momentum at the 35. Hobart over the middle, wide open is Dudley, and the tight end leans forward for a first down at the 24. Mark Collins grabbed him by an ankle.
Yeah, nobody on this guy.
Well, the Chiefs continue to blitz. They blow the coverage right here. Look at Dudley going across the middle. Nobody there to cover him. Excellent job of Billy Joe Hobart seeing him and getting the ball to him.
Talked about their great tight ends. As you look at Dudley, they started with C. You know, Billy Cannon was the first, and Chester and Casper and Christensen. He only needs to drop one letter from D to C.
Ricky Cudley. Are you nuts?
There's Tim Brown unable to catch up as Dale Carter on the coverage, and Hobart smacked as he released the ball.
Ricky Cudley.
Well, it was just trying to tie it all together.
Oh, it's good.
Tie this together.
Well, Billy Joe Hobart doing a good job of hanging in the pocket, and that one kind of hurt a little. But the one thing he does not lack is guts and fire. He's a great competitor, and we said earlier, Dick, that we've seen him before, very exuberant, cocky. Yesterday he says, I got nothing to be cocky about. I haven't won a game as a starter. We got to change that tomorrow.
I love his emotion. I mean, he was crying in the anthem at Baltimore last week. Cried when he saw Unitas run out on the field. Handoff inside to Harvey Williams. Doesn't work. Sally Amua is back.
Second and 10. This is a tough play to execute against the Kansas City defense. Watch all the defensive linemen of the Chiefs. They are just sprinting up the field. You've got a slow developing play, and that's one of the reasons why he's tackled for a loss.
Boy, did he put a move on Wisniewski, Sally Amua. Lightning quick.
That could be a little battle brewing there the rest of the game.
Third and a dozen. Raiders need something on the board. They trail 14-0. 4 minutes left in the third. Hobart almost caught by Hobbs, who is shielded by linebacker Martin Bayless.
Do you know what Martin Bayless did? Martin Bayless just stood there. And Hobbs said if he comes back to the ball, he can make the catch. Hobbs stood there. Bayless stood there. Bayless didn't do anything. You see Hobbs when he comes down now. Phil, watch what he does. He just stays right there. There's Bayless. Look at him staying right there. Instead of coming back to the ball.
Absolutely. The number one, the biggest sin for a receiver is to stand there and wait for the ball to come to you.
44-yard field goal attempt by Cole Ford. He was blocked from 43 in the first half, and the snap over Gossett's head, and Gossett won't run this time. Dale Carter.
You know, I'm telling you, that's Gossett's fault. He pulled his hands down too quickly. Your only job is to catch the ball. The ball is up there. He can catch the ball.
Raiders in scoring position, empty again. All in one drive. The fake punt delivered a first down, and then he muffs the snap on the field goal attempt, and the Raiders see Kansas City with the ball at their own 45. 14-0. First offensive play of the second half for Bono. Took 11 minutes of the third quarter before Kansas City got the ball. They, of course, had Hasty's 80-yard touchdown run with a fumble.
I like the call. You know, you just get the ball back. It's almost like a turnover, but you get the ball back, and then you go right up into the air with it.
Get your offense back in rhythm. Excellent job of Chris Penn driving the defender off, and Steve Bono with good timing delivering it.
Chris Penn with a catch and a first down. His second catch of the day. Marcus Allen slicing his way forward to the 40, and half the Raider team finally stack him up at the 39-yard line. A reminder, fans, that Third Rock from the Sun has started its 2-week countdown to its season premiere, and of course, as we told you, Dennis Rodman and the Aliens will part of the very first premiere showing of the season. It's a 1-hour special. Third Rock from the Sun just 2 weeks from tonight on NBC.
The big secret is what color hair will he have.
I kind of like that pose. That kind of looks like you know, and Saturday nights as we get ready for our production meeting, you kind of, you know, it's that.
Get ready.
Yeah, get ready.
To the 35 and close to a first down as Greg Biekert down low with a tackle.
No, we talked about him so many times last year doing the Chiefs coming down the stretch about how he glides. Bell is a runner, a slasher. But Marcus Allen, all of his years, and he only has 10 yards, and he got him in this drive. But Marcus Allen just glides, and when he sees a hole, he leans forward.
Wonderful article today in the Kansas City paper chronicling Allen as, in the history of the NFL running backs, the intelligent, the most intelligent. Look at those eyes. Horse eyes is what Art Shell called him at the Raiders. He sees everything. And he sees a first down to the 30-yard line. Regarded as perhaps as solid a goal line runner down short as anyone, yet he fumbled today. Unfortunately, it was recovered by a teammate. There's Art Shell, his former coach with the Raiders. He said he has the mind of a quarterback. He knows all the assignments, and therefore, as the play develops, he's anticipating where all 22 players, including himself, are on the field.
Remember last year, Bono even turned around. He says he turns around, he tells me plays to do.
Yeah.
Hey, wrong
Check it off.
Horse eyes. He's on a roll now. Another first down.
This is beautiful.
Kansas City Chiefs could not even get a yard inside the first half against this Raider defensive line. And now they're starting to open up some holes inside, blocking Chester McLaughlin and Russell Maryland and Marcus Allen. One of the reasons why he's been great so long, he always finds that hole.
You know, you sit there, and I still marvel 15 years, and the guy just glides.
He saved many of his best performances against his ex-teammates. Kind of took it out on those Los Angeles teams, the Rams when they were in L.A. and the Raiders. Bono throws to the tight end, incomplete. Reggie Johnson, and a flag down in the secondary of the Raiders. Against Mike Jones.
Automatic first down.
Holding by Jones, the linebacker, and a first down for the Chiefs.
One of the things that the Raiders and historically are that way. when they start to get behind, in which they are in this ball game, 14-0, they start doing really dumb things.
Mike Jones, you can see the hold right there, gets fooled by the play action, thinks it's run, finds out a little too late it's going to be a pass, so he does the right thing and grabs a hold of the tight end, Reggie Johnson.
First down at the 14. Marcus Allen, 25 yards in this drive, had only 1 yard total rushing the first down. And he bolts to the 10-yard line. 4 more for Marcus. As they get near the goal line, it's important to remind you that Allen, who has so many records already, is only 1 touchdown total away from Jim Brown's all-time record for a running back of 126 touchdown. Of course, Jerry Rice in another league, the wide receiver, but running backs, Allen tied with Walter Payton, just 1 behind Brown. He'll have a chance to tie it in the 4th quarter. And to 3, 14-0 KC. 5th largest crowd in Arrowhead history, 79,281, most of them doing the Macarena.
Including Von Bucker, defensive end, Macarena dancer. There he is. Go ahead, Von. I want to see Bono do it. I want to see Steve Bono do it.
I don't quite get it all. I mean, that's really catching on now.
Well, most of the people in the stands didn't get it either. They're just making up their own dances. They went along.
Whatever happened to the funky chicken? Inside handoff as they sent Allen in motion, tried to draw the attention of the Raider defense. Gave it to Kimball Landers, but Anthony Smith and Jerry Ball not fooled. In this series, the last 13 games, 12 won by Kansas City. The Chiefs have prevailed strongly in the 4th quarter. They lead 14-0. It's in talking with Mike White yesterday, he really exuded confidence. He felt he'd had a great week of practice. He said the best week since he's been head coach. Had a good game plan. The players seemed confident.
Most of it showed in this game today, Dick. I thought they played very well, but the terrible turnovers in the scoring zone.
Battles to the 6-yard line, and he knows where those sticks are. He's close but shy by about a yard. 4th and 1 for Kansas City, and Marty Schottenheimer isn't going to give the running game a chance. He wants Stojanovic in there for a field goal. Stojanovic, who hit the right upright with a 48-yard attempt in the first half.
We better make this one.
He made the NFL playoff record. Remember, 58-yarder against the Chiefs in the playoffs here in '91. He punches this one inside that left upright, and the Chiefs build a 17-0 lead. The NFL continues on NBC. Welcome back to Kimberly with Paul McGuire. Super Bowl MVP Phil Simms, one of 6 Super Bowl most valuable players in the stadium today is Simms. 17-0. The Chiefs have the Raiders hanging by their heels, although Oakland has been in scoring position, just can't punch it in. Stojanovic to Kenny Shedd from Northern Iowa. Shedd, the wide receiver, smothered inside the 20. 13:30 left in the 4th. Kansas City 17, Oakland nothing.
NFL, it's everywhere you want to be. By Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers. By Hertz, for business, for pleasure, nobody does it exactly like Hertz.
And welcome back to Arrowhead, and to follow up on our Super Bowl company, Lenny Dawson, now the voice of the Chiefs. Super Bowl 4, Biletnikoff coaching with the Raiders. Jim Plunkett, a broadcaster. Marcus Allen, of course. Phil Simms and Larry Brown, last year's MVP. There's our former colleague, Lenny Dawson. Fred Biletnikoff upstairs calling the plays, and that other guy.
I don't know who he is.
Harvey Williams skipping through tackles. A fine run by Williams out to the 35-yard line. And a first down before Brian Washington can make the tackle.
And you ask why are they running the ball with coming up to 13 minutes in the fourth quarter down 17 points? That's part of their game plan. There's a lot of time in this football game. You just can't go crazy and start throwing the ball.
Absolutely right. You drop back every down and throw against this Kansas City Chiefs defense, we're going to get another turnover.
Mike White happy with that run. Fenner and Williams in the eye behind Hobart. Tim Brown sliding in motion. Flag down. Too much time, I believe, or Harlow. False start by the left tackle.
False start, number 75, offense.
Well,
prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty.
That one you can't blame on the noise, Phil. I mean, advantage. But, you know, last week, again, 12 penalties, 5-yard penalties for the Raiders. I mean, you just, at this time of the year, this is where preseason's for. Get all those things worked out, and so you can get out and sit down and play football. You can't make dumb mistakes.
First and 15 with Fenner, the fullback, in motion. Hobart to Williams. Brought down at the line of scrimmage, right at the 30. Greg Minuski getting some duty. Number 51. He's a special team star, former Redskin and Viking. Out of Colgate. He's led the special teams and tackles the last 2 years.
Well, the Raiders are going to have to take a chance here soon, and in this drive, they've got to go down the field and look for a big play because they need 3 scores to get back in the game. You're not going to be able to sustain drives 3 straight times to go down the field. You're going to need some big plays.
Tim Brown is in the slot left. That's Jett in the left. Underneath it goes to the tight end Dudley to the 36-yard line, and a flag in the Chiefs defensive secondary. Might have had a hold. Thomas and Simeon made the tackle of Dudley.
Holding, number 40, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
James Hastings. There's the holding penalty. I mean, you know, anything after 5 yards, that
yeah, he's
6 yards, 7, you can't do it.
Yeah, keeping his hands on Tim Brown way too long.
Well, I mean, he could be called maybe 4 or 5 times in a ball game, and I don't know what what he's thinking about because he's way out all by himself. You're going to be able to see him
and play the situation. First, 2nd and 15. Do not give up these type of penalties now and give the Raiders a chance for 3 more downs.
You know, I'll tell you something. Yesterday, Dick, when Ricky Dudley came in that room, I mean, that is an impressive young man. Man, is he big.
I like when he put his hand up next to Dick's. It was, well, 2 knuckles longer is the way I figured it. He had about 2 extra joints.
It was like a second baseman's glove, and I was putting it in one of those big old outfielder's gloves.
Catch about 8 balls at one time. He has really got a pair of mitts. First down with a penalty at the 35, and Hobart calls time. 11:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Raiders trying to make up a deficit, trailed by 17. Head Stadium. Only one time in 74 previous games of the series has there been a shutout. The 81 whitewash the Chiefs handed Oakland. Kansas City leads today 17-0. 11:20 remaining in the fourth. First down and 10 for the Raiders. Hobart underneath to the tight end Dudley. And he's out of bounds at the 43. Make that Andrew Glover in for that catch. Glover, the 6th-year veteran from Grambling, his first catch of the season.
It only took 2 games for Phil Simms to lie to me. He told me every time Andrew Glover's in the game, he's only in there to block. And now he catches the pass.
Well, it was a trick play. They sent him out this time, so they caught Kansas. That's why it was open.
They probably made that up in the huddle, huh?
Yeah, Kansas City knew. They said he's not going out.
2nd and 2. Glover, like Dudley, a former college basketball player. Here's Aska. And he got it. Neil Smith drags him down for maybe a half-yard gain.
Did you see Did you see what Jet did on this play? He never leaves the line of scrimmage. Watch James Jet on play. He really never leaves the line. This guy right here, watch what he does. And the ball is snapped. Just keep your eye on him. Don't look at the ball. Look at Jet. I guess I'm not in the play.
Neil Smith was overpowered Glover.
That was the club with the left hand and dragged the runner down with the right.
No gain, 3rd and 2 for the Raiders. Caught. Tim Brown, first down at the Kansas City 48. Tracy Simeon with a stop.
Neil Smith does an excellent job of getting in the quarterback's face. Billy Joe Hobart stays in there and still makes a completion, but wow, Harvey Williams on Neil Smith. Neil Smith couldn't believe it.
6 catches now for Tim Brown and 81 yards. He's been the most productive of the Raiders. No surprise there. What a talent he is. First down, Hobart. Brown again. Works the sidelines away from Minuski to the 44-yard line. A gain of about 9 more.
That's the thing that impressed me with Tim Brown. You watched him. He just caught the ball. How quick his feet are and how quick he can make a decision where he wants to go. Watch Tim Brown after he catches the ball. Has wonderful presence. He knows they need a couple scores. Don't try to get the extra yard. Get out of bounds and save a few seconds.
And you compare that with last week, Sean Jefferson would turn back inside where he ran into all the tacklers and created a couple of fumbles and later injured himself. Hobart underneath. What a catch. He was being held that time, Brown was, and he almost with one hand was able to wrestle that one into his grasp, and a first down again. Washington and Minuski make the stop.
You know, this is a nice drive by the Raiders. The only problem is, in this drive, here's the catch. Double covered.
Caught it with his right hand.
Yeah, he does. But the only problem is they've run close to 6 minutes off of the clock already in this drive, and they're only inside the 40.
The reason Minuski's playing, Anthony Davis, the linebacker, out with a left hamstring. Over to Dudley, and the tight end wrestled down at the 31-yard line by Martin Bayless.
17-0, Paul. They started in their own 20. You're driving down the field. This offensive line of the Raiders do an excellent job of protecting the passer.
They are, and I agree. It is a nice-looking drive, except you're in the 4th quarter, and you've already run 6 minutes off the clock, and you're now at the 31-yard line.
8 minutes left. 17-0 Kansas City. Grilled by Dale Carter. Carter called by Marty Schottenheimer in his career as a coach, the best athlete he has ever had. Dale Carter.
And Gunther Cunningham, the defensive coordinator, loves him. Says he's a gym rat. He's so tough. He can do everything.
Loves the challenge of man coverage. Harvey Williams close to the 20-yard line on a first down carry.
And I think a lot of people would agree, and Gunther Cunningham, again, the defense coordinator, says there's no question he's the best all-around defensive back in the league. And look at this.
That's coach speak.
That's coach. Well, he believes it, though.
2nd and 5. Hobart goes to the end zone for Jet. And incomplete, and Darren Anderson getting excellent position on the receiver.
Oh, Anderson played this so perfectly. I mean, Jet had no chance for the ball. Billy Joe Hobart throws the ball short, and watch Anderson. Watch him turn back to the field, so there's no pass interference. And he's got himself his body between the ball and the receiver. You can't play it any better.
But if you're a teammate of Jet, don't you want him to be a little more aggressive going for the ball?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Get over there, and if nothing else, break up the interception.
We saw Hobbs just stand there before in the 3rd quarter, just waiting for the ball to get there. You can't wait. You've got to go get it.
3rd and 5. And the noise level rises. Hobart incomplete, and he was hit hard as he threw by Vaughn Booker. 4th down, and Coach Mike White sends out the field goal unit. And of course, after what we've seen today, you can't overlook the fact that we might have a fake. They've tried a few wrinkles. But they need to get 3 scores. They're going to need a field goal somewhere. And so this, with 7:05 left in the 4th, apparently will be the time.
I'll tell you, with 1 blocked field goal, 1 high snap, and you're going to kick a field, I think I might go for it on 4th down. I mean, the risk is too great to even try to kick a field goal.
But I think this is the right call. You're the Raiders. Just prolong the game. Make the Chiefs keep playing. Maybe you get lucky and somewhere force a turnover.
38-yarder by Cole Ford, and it is good. Raiders on the board. 7 minutes left in the game. 14-point Chiefs lead.
We'll keep you advised. Colts lead at 21-7. Dick.
All right, Greg, the effects and after effects of the hurricane plaguing the Northeast. Here, Cole Ford has kicked a field goal to make it 17-3 Kansas City, and Ford hits one a mile almost out of the end zone, and rookie Jerome Woods will take the touchback at the 20. Jim Gray.
Well, Dick, yesterday Cole Ford and all of the Raiders were at practice, and about 40 players got back onto the bus, and they couldn't find the bus driver. They kept searching for him. Finally, a bunch of guys said, hey, who can drive this bus? Well, they kicked 3 or 4 Raiders out, and finally Cole Ford got into the chair, drove the bus. His first right turn, he hit a stop sign and broke the window, but he managed to get them all back in one piece, and they were all chanting as they got off the bus.
Oh,
Cole. Dick.
Thanks, Jim. Well, we're always making fun of field goal kickers now. See, there's great team worth to these.
I would have got off that bus. I would not. I wouldn't have taken my chances.
First down for the Raiders, and Greg Hill gets 10 up the middle. A former star at Texas A&M showing his burst of speed. Raise the roof, says Hill.
Excellent job of the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line. No success in the first half, but the second half they've been very aggressive and winning the wars inside. And that's why the Chiefs running backs are getting some positive gains.
You know, when you say that you can't run in the middle because you got McLaughlin and Russell Maryland in there, and that's all you got to do is tell offensive linemen, you can't run here. And you watch what they do. Yeah, they will.
Hill in motion. And Mel Bennett. Marty really likes this former University of Miami fullback, and Bennett blasts for about 8 yards before Jones and Lynch can make the stop.
This is championship stuff, really, when you are ahead in a game in the 4th quarter and everybody knows you're going to run the ball and you still run it up in there and get creases like this. That says something about this Kansas City offensive line, and we all know it's very good. And
well, they just rolled a big ball out there. Jerry, he's there.
When Marcus Allen won the Heisman at Southern California, Greg Hill was 8 years old. That gives you an idea how old Marcus is. And he said, I'm proud of that. I want to be the oldest running back in NFL history to succeed. Hill again. Trying for the first down, very close, right at the 40. May have to measure, as we remind you that Notre Dame football next weekend on NBC, Saturday, 2:30 Eastern. The Irish and Ron Paulus will host the Purdue Boilermakers, presented by Chevy Trucks. Notre Dame with a 14-7 tough win at Vanderbilt earlier this week. Neil Smith, Eric Thomas, his close partner in defensive crime, have been the difference in the game.
I like that nose strip there. That's
Arrowhead.
Is that what it is?
Sure. Fashion.
Fashion is right.
Fashion.
An old Indian.
4:45 now remaining in the 4th. First down. Bennett showing the speed for a big man and gets 10, but a flag is down on the corner, and it looks as if he may have been held by Dean and Hughes illegally.
See, now, I like Danon Hughes in this play, number 83, right there. He pointed to the bench and let the officials know it was me. That's me. I did it. That's nice, you know.
Well, I think he was hoping they wouldn't call it. He knew he was borderline there during the play, and he got up looking for a break, I think. And
number 83, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
When I said they rolled the ball out there, I meant Jerry Ball, number 93. I mean, they got him in there for the kind of stop the run up the middle.
Marty Schottenheimer's team penalized twice the number of calls as Oakland today. 31-yard line. the Chiefs look at 1st and 19.
I wonder what Marty shot in golf yesterday. He was golfing bad.
Yeah, he played with Tom Forey, the ex-coach of the Raiders and Seahawks.
Yeah.
Tom said he played badly.
But he's a 4 handicap.
Not yet, not yet.
Bennett, as the Raiders bring a blitz, and Anthony Smith was there first with plenty of help. Chester McLaughlin and others. As you look at the scores from around the NFL on this Sunday, that's a big win for the Steelers after not only the loss last week, but the loss of players by injury. A timeout with 4:27 left as you look at Carl Kidd and some of the other Raiders. Well, they're starting to warm up the old 38 Dodge. Neil Smith, who likes to tinker with automobiles, refurbished. Look at this beauty. Man, what color is that anyway? Purple.
That is grape ape. There it is, grape ape.
He said, I love that dude.
Yeah,
when I watched him, the cartoon character.
That was a cartoon, and it was
Neil Smith, who has been a Pro Bowler 5 times, and he's wreaked some havoc.
On his ex-teammate.
Number 90.
This is his own highlight film.
Number 90. He's worn red most of his football life, of course, with the red of University of Nebraska, and here in Kansas City for his 9th season. What a player. Hill weaving his way to the 33-yard line. 4:20, 4:19, and time called again by the Raiders to stop the clock. Kansas City leads 17-3. What do you think about the Cowpokes, Phil Simms?
Well, I think they got to toughen up and just deal with the fact that they don't have all their players, and they're going to have to win without them. And you know, they've kind of been pouting and dragging around, and they got to realize it's going to be tough and just hang in there until they get the players back.
On 3rd and 16, draw for Bennett. And he's out to the 45, 5 yards short of a first down. And the punting team comes on for Kansas City, but the Raiders have used all their timeouts, so the clock will run under 4 minutes.
I'll tell you another thing about Dallas, Dick. They're getting no sympathy from anyone around the league. I mean, everybody's been there at some time. You know, well, we're hurting. Nobody cares. No one.
As long as Emmitt Smith is healthy, however.
You bet.
You're right.
Did he make some blocks? Did he make some
blocks? He did
blocks
a wonderful job, and he's a all-around football player. There's no question. He can run block, and we saw the pass blocking on Monday night.
Tim Brown back as Aguiar lets that clock run down. 4-3 the game, the play clock, and now the snap. So they spent as much time as they could. A high floater. Brown will fair catch it at the 10-yard line. 46 yards, no return, and there is a flag on the play.
That's a 46-yard punt, no return. There's a penalty flag down.
Jerry McBride with a heavy pocket full of lozenges. He's had a lot to say today. Tough on the voice.
Illegal block, number 35, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Joe Aska, second-year man. A reminder tonight on Dateline what really happened in the O.J. Simpson case. An inside expert is going to reveal some startling secrets. That's Dateline tonight, Sunday at 7:30, only on NBC. Jeff Hostetler patiently watching as the Raiders are 3 minutes and 22 seconds away from their 8th consecutive defeat going back to last year.
And the thing the Raiders can hang their hat on, they came in here, they played tough, they hung in the game, they made some mistakes when they shouldn't have, but emotionally they can fall back on, well, we got our quarterback coming back next week. We'll rebound. We can get right back in this race.
Well, the only touchdowns for the Chiefs, one on a fumble recovery, 80 yards. The other was after they tried to fumble it away, recovered in the end zone of the Raiders and scored on the next play. From the 6-yard line, Hobart fumbles, and it appears the Chiefs have it as Thomas makes another play. It's either a touchdown or a safety, depending on who fell on the fumble.
Safety. You know the thing about this, and what makes it really look so bad, is that they had a three-man rush, and I'm telling you, Derek Thomas just went by Pat Harlow. I mean, he never had a chance.
Salemua had his hands on a touchdown and winds up covered by the Raiders for the safety. Derek Thomas, he has 2 sacks today. One went for an 80-yard touchdown on the fumble recovery. And Darian, his 6-year-old son, mighty proud of Pop's work today.
I mean, that's incredible. You got Harlow out there. You've got to give him some help if you're going to throw a pass pattern with Derek Thomas on the outside as quick as he is. They're Harlow playing in a new position, and I'm not making excuses for him because he wouldn't make any for himself. But you're playing there, and you're one-on-one on that guy. I don't think so.
Down in that end zone, he's lined up wide. Pat Harlow had no chance.
The noise again.
The noise, that's right.
Said he was injured much of last year. He said it was only 8 games I really felt 100%. He had only 8 sacks only. He has 4 already this year. And how productive he is. You talk about the big play Chiefs and the turnovers. There's the man that heads the list.
Well, the Chiefs just have playmakers everywhere on defense, and Derek Thomas just happens to be one of them. Lines up outside here at this stadium in those type of situations. Neil Smith and Derek Thomas have made a living sacking the quarterback and making them fumble in those type of situations.
Well, he's accounted for 9 points today, counting the extra point. And of course, that's the daily double. You get the sack and the fumble. Well, it's a trifecta, and you get to kick the ball. Get the ball back on the free kick, a very high kick. Fair catch called by Kimball Anders at the 48-yard line. That was a smart play by Anders. That's almost a high version of an onside kick. 32-yard free kick. Leading in the 90s, Thomas and Neil Smith. Look how much they lead the rest of the combo sackers in the NFL. And then they line them up on the same side of the field. That should be illegal.
No, I like what
most quarterbacks think it is.
Yeah, we asked Derek about that, what they do if they're on the same side. He said, well, if Neil goes inside, I got outside. If he goes outside, he's got him beat. I just stay inside. It's very simple.
3:05 left. Bono will lead it. Andre Bruce will be credited with a sack on that play.
I don't think that play there was doom.
Well, they thought that was Buddy Ryan's defense over there, and everybody was going to run to on the fake, and he was going to run untouched. But Andre Bruce showing some discipline, really, and staying in his rush lane, and he sees Steve Bono coming out of there.
Yeah, but Bono did an excellent thing, too, a smart thing. He just got down, didn't go out of bounds because the clock would have stopped inside 5 minutes. We are down to 2:45 and counting. This will be the last play before the 2 minutes because the Raiders have no more timeouts.
19-3 Kansas City. They've done it on defense today. Janelle Bennett. It's over! To the 43-yard line. 2:30 left and the clock running, probably to the 2-minute warning now, all the way down. Lorenzo Lynch made the tackle. The Raiders go home next week for their opener at the refurbished Oakland Coliseum. And for you fans up there in the Bay Area, on Saturday from 1 to 6 in the afternoon, they're going to have an open house. You'll be able to see the team practice. Some of the Raider greats of the past will be there. They try and introduce you to that now a new facility. I don't know if Mark McGuire is going to be there hitting home runs too, but they'll try to work that out as well. Boy, does he love the redone Oakland Coliseum. Timeout, 2 minutes.
Package, Dick and Phil. Now we're going to see the Derek Thomas highlight package. And you talk about quickness. Look at this. There's the hit, and then Hasty picks the ball up and runs 80 yards for a touchdown. Derek Thomas again on Billy Joe Hobart, going by Pat Harlow. Salemua almost gets a touchdown. They get a safety. But I want to just say one thing about Derek after this play.
Bono hands off inside Bennett to the 47-yard line, and again the Raiders are out of timeouts, and little push and shove here with Mike Jones.
Mike Jones wants his helmet back.
And Reggie Johnson, the tight end for the Chiefs.
But I think the most impressive play of Derek Thomas today was when he rushed the passer, and he slipped and fell, or he got knocked down, got back up, and you said, hey, look who made the tackle. 35 yards down the field was Derek Thomas.
Think about it. His forced fumbles today, take away the extra point even, would give the Chiefs an 8-3 lead. He has 35 forced fumbles in his career. Think about how many games that has turned around. The impact of his play. MACGUIRE on to punt with 1:27 the clock running.
He just let this thing go all the way down and take the penalty.
Play clock at 6:05. And now they'll call time. So with 1:15 left, a Kansas City timeout. Reminds you that we'll have all the top plays of the day. I wonder if the Jets are back playing after the lightning storm in New York. Suspended play. We'll go back to our studios in New York for our crew for the NFL highlights. Not too much to replay here from the Raiders' point of view. It's been Kansas City's day, although very little from the offensive side of the ball from either side. It's been the Kansas City defense that's won this game.
Really, the Raiders probably had the more sustained and impressive drives, but they always ended in mistakes, which Kansas City turned into points.
And Marcus Allen, while he didn't have that big day, he will relish the fact that he's been able to beat the Raiders again. How about that? 13 of the last 14 games won by Kansas City against Oakland. Who would have thought that would happen? Allen with 34 yards rushing today and one catch for 29 yards. Tim Brown for a catch. Interfered with. That'll be a penalty. Didn't have a fair chance to catch the ball. The official with a great throw spikes Brown with a flag.
Jerome Woods, yeah, the rookie. Got to let the guy catch it. And here's the guy that's the punt returner. You got to know that. You know that Jet game that they suspended?
Yeah.
You got to stay there. Wait till the storm
That's
goes
right.
through.
Oh, you have to.
You got to play it. So this could be the longest game in football history.
Question is, how many of the fans will wait it out?
Well, you're from there. I mean,
but I didn't play for the Jets.
No, I know, but you played in the same stadium.
That's true.
Are the Jet fans, are they Giant fans too?
No, they're not. They're really
fair catch interference on number 35 kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Another 15 yards against the Chiefs.
Well, they got another number wrong. It's 31 Woods. It's not 35.
Andre Bruce and Todd McNair, a couple of veterans, and McNair says, "Kiss me, I kiss you." Whoa, who's
oh
my! It was wide to the right.
Yeah, but McNair hit Andre Bruce and it didn't even move him. He's like, okay.
The old foot mashy. So the ball now at the 29-yard line. The Raiders with 1:05 left, and Billy Joe would like to at least get his team in the end zone before the final gun, trailing 19-3. Stays on the ground. Napoleon Kaufman has nearly 10, out to the 39, where William White makes the tackle. Kansas City will go to Seattle next week. Raiders home opener against Jacksonville. Into the flat. Darrell Hobbs first down and stops the clock at the 46-yard line. Redskins with a big win over the Bears 10-3 today.
Wow. Hold that Bear offense just to three points.
After an impressive Monday night win. Chiefs to Seattle, then home against Denver. We'll be back here in 2 weeks, then at San Diego before they start October against the AFC champion Steelers. Over looks for Brown. Instead goes long to Shedd. And Kenny Shedd has him denied on The deflection.
The pass is incomplete.
Raiders home back-to-back, Jacksonville and the Chargers, and then they go to Chicago, and we'll be there as well on the 29th.
You look at schedules nowadays, Dick. How can you tell if it's favorable or not to any team? I mean, you can get upset home, away against the worst team in the league, and it's really hard to tell. And like we said earlier, Jeff Hostetler should be back next week starting against Jacksonville.
8 losses in a row for the Raiders, but this is much too talented a team not to get a win soon. Another fumble. Neil Smith gets in the act, forces the fumble, recovered by the Raiders.
That should be a forward pass, an incomplete forward pass. Billy Joel trying to flip it out there left-handed.
We're going to add one more to Neil's highlight package.
Again, good hustle there. Keeps after it.
Yeah, he was trying to shovel it forward.
Yep.
You know what? You're talking some 3 hours and 10 minutes later after this game started, and you watch these guys. That's the one thing about this team. They don't stop.
28 seconds showing on the clock. 3rd down and 10. Boy, he is strong and quick all the way to the 35 of Kansas City. Clock running 19 seconds. Try to hurry up there and at least get another play off.
Well, they should try to stop the clock and take a shot, try to get in the end zone, but they don't seem to be in any big hurry.
Wait a minute, they got the ball. They kicked the ball down to the 30. It belongs on the 35.
Now
The Chiefs kicked the ball down there, and the official marked it.
Now they've respotted at the 35 with 4 seconds left.
Oh, I've seen everything today, folks.
And the gun sounds before Hobart can get the snap. So the end of a fruitful defensive day for Marty Schottenheimer's defense, and another disappointing loss for the Raiders, 19-3. Kansas City's domination of Oakland continues. 13 wins in their last 14 games.